it's a great test for us to go out there on Denver on the road, against a good football team. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see, just to see what we've been, all the work we've been putting in to put it actually to the test on Sunday.
Nix doesn't make a lot of mistakes, doesn't take a lot of sacks, doesn't throw a lot of interceptions. So he'll be a challenge for you.
I mean, the reason why he don't take a lot of sacks because he take off running with the football. He don't get sacked a lot. You give him the A and B gap. If his first read not there, he taking off running. So that's the reason why he don't take many sacks because he's not just sitting in the pocket and trying to read coverage. I would say we take that first read off, which I know our DBs, our linebackers, they're going to do a hell of a job on the back end, especially when it's time for them to throw the ball. We got to make sure, and that's what we talked about, being on the same plan. Same rush plans, being on the same page up front. We have to make sure that we don't give him no escape lanes because, like I said, that's the reason why he don't have many sacks and the reason why he don't have many mistakes. He's a young quarterback that they want to establish a run game as well. They want us to come out and be able to try to run the ball on teams and which they did pretty effectively. So we got to be ready for that. We got to be able to stop the run and stop the quarterback run game.
You guys, you never know what's going to come available on the waiver wire. You add Shy Tuttle, a 6-year veteran, to the defensive front. That's a nice free piece for you.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't been around him that much. We kind of got him like right at the end last week, but I'm excited to keep learning. What type of first off, what type of person he is off the field, but also as a teammate, it's always good to add addition to the D line. But like I said, we're gonna, hopefully he could be a big piece for us. So.
Jeff, what's the key to opening up successfully on the road? I mean, the road team, fans on the road with game one are going to be jacked up. Everyone's jacked up because it's the first week. What's the key to finding your way?
I mean, like I said, let's just go back to, especially as a defensive guy. I mean, we got to control weak control, and like I said, we know they're going to try to establish the run game early. We got to be able to keep Bo Nix in the well. Like I said, when his first read not there, he's going to try to take off running with the ball. So that's the way you quiet the noise right there. If Bo Nix out there, slicing our defense up and they putting points on the board, we can't help but to hear the fans and their crowd take over. So, we got to be able to silence the noise and control weak control, and that's, stopping the run and affecting the quarterback.
Small sample size, but you guys got some turnovers in the preseason. How important is it to continue that?
I mean, we've been talking about that. Turnover is a big piece of what we've been talking about, extraction, getting the ball off teams, and that's going to be a big emphasis. Like I said, the first game of the season, sometime hopefully they can be a little careless with the football, and we got to make sure we just sworn and be aggressive on the football. So I think that'll be a big piece for us. We were trending in the right direction throughout training camp and the preseason. So hopefully they can keep on going in the right direction, and that's our goal as a defense.
Lastly, Jeff, you talked about how you changed your offseason and your mindset for this year. Did you set a goal for yourself? Like, what do you expect for yourself this season?
I didn't really set a goal. My goal is to be in the moment, be present. I think over my, over this 7-year span of playing in the NFL, when I try to set all these goals for myself, I kind of get sidetracked. I kind of get, make it all about me and not about the team at times. So I think this year is all about being in the moment. How can I be present for my teammates? And that's when I'm present, when I'm doing my job and I'm doing everything that Jeff Simmons need to do to help this team win, everything that's going to take care of itself. The stats and all that will take care of itself, and, the Pro Bowl and all pros and, all that going to take care of itself. But my biggest thing is how can I be present for my teammates to help win this division.
Thank you.
Jeff, with the focus this offseason on the coordinator front, pass rush and that being what you guys honed in on, how do you feel you guys are prepared to take that to Denver this weekend?
I mean, the biggest thing, like I was just saying, we know Bo Nix his first read not there, he's going to take off running with the football. So we got to make sure we're on the same page. We got to make sure we have a balanced rusher. Not trying to be robots out there, but at the same time, we know that if it's not there, Bo Nix is going to take off running. So it's going to be on us up front to make sure we keep him in the well and keep him in the pocket.
Never a doubt that I wouldn't do that.
You want to get back if you want to play. But is there any part of you, you sign a big deal here, year one gets interrupted because of injury.
Yeah.
They're counting on it. I mean, is there a part of you that feels, I don't know if it's unfinished business or you got to prove that you are who the contract is?
I got to prove it to myself. Yeah, that's I put a lot on my plate. I feel like I put the work in. Now it's just going out there and doing it proving to myself rather than proving to media or anyone else. So you could say it's a lot on my plate, but I feel like I've put the work in. I believe in myself. I know what type of player I am or what type of player I could be. So I think I'm ready for the challenge.
When Callie talked to us earlier, there were a lot of areas on the team. He's like, I think we're better, but we got to go prove it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that kind of the whole attitude here?
That's it.
All the work's in the barn, but we got to actually go prove it now?
Yeah, the talking does nothing. We got to go prove it and get better from last year. Yeah, I mean, all the talk in the world does nothing for us. We got to go do it on Sundays and see where we end up.
How excited are you to go back to Denver?
All right, can't wait. Had a lot of great years there. A lot of good friends. I grew up pretty much there. My first time away from home was there. So, yeah, I love that place. I can't wait to get back there and play against them.
Can you tell these guys anything about what to expect? I don't know, altitude,
Oh, yeah.
crowd-wise? I mean, what do they need to know?
Yeah, I mean, as far as altitude, I played there 4 years and never really got used to it. I mean, it's something you just got to deal with. So, it's just a part of it. I got to fight through it. We have the oxygen tanks on the sideline, so yeah, just try to let them know how the atmosphere is going to be. I'm sure it'll be rocking, coming off a good year, week one, so it's going to be a good challenge for us. You know they're going to pressure. Attack the quarterback. You and Cam, you guys got to be on the same page. Some of the things to make sure that as we progress throughout the week, Thursday we'll have our third down meeting to look at all the pressures with the quarterbacks and running backs and make sure we're on the same page. So we'll probably start some of that a little bit tomorrow, and then Thursday is the real meeting that we go through all our calls, and from there we just keep make sure we're all on the same page till Sunday.
And doing that, like, you know, receivers, they spend time together and have that extra be able to communicate with the practice, etc. That's something that applies like when for you and the quarterback?
Yeah, same thing. But they're in tune with all the protections just like we are up front. And as long as, like I was saying, up front we set the point of where we're going, and then if the quarterback sees something else that we don't and he wants to change it, he has the freedom to do that. So yeah, we always end up on the same page. I feel like our communication's been good so far.
And it's more like, it's not that you can't breathe, it's more just like you get dry mouth, you know what I mean? But it's nothing crazy.
How much stock gets put into a game? Well, we were talking with Callahan a little bit about this. He's like, obviously you want to perform and try to set the tone in week one, but it's also a really long season, so like one game doesn't make or break. So how do you toe that line, I guess?
At least how I see it is just taking it 1 week at a time. Like you said, you know, one game doesn't define you as a team, but you know, just taking it 1 week at a time, just preparing the right way this week, taking it one day at a time, and then taking this game just as it is, not looking too far ahead, not worried about this or that, just, you know, being where your feet are at is how we say it, you know.
You guys have spent time being the quarterback of that defense. What do you tell the offense as far as like what to expect and how to go against it?
Give them a little bit of stuff, you know. I don't want to get into it a lot right now, you know, but you know, I've talked to the guys and just you know, from my experience there and my knowledge, just give them, you know, what I took from there.
So there's definitely a lot of dialogue that you've had.
Man, you dived in all these. No, I'm just kidding. There's some, yeah. Just like I said, I don't want on camera right now to be saying too much, but there's some.
Jeff was pretty adamant that he said if Bo doesn't have his first read, he's off and running, and we got to be ready for that. How much of a challenge is that on you then?
Yeah, it's a challenge. I mean, when a guy can get out and use his legs and run, you know, it creates that threat of, you know, you're playing in coverage, you're back there, and all of a sudden there's a lot of space and that dude's on the run, you know. So then it puts you in a bind of you got to be smart when you come up and try to make a play on him, or if you come up too early, you know, he can just put it over your head, you know. So definitely creates a challenge, and you know, we'll see how it shakes down on Sunday.
You know, even though he's a young quarterback, he doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He doesn't take sacks. He doesn't throw a lot of interceptions. So what do you do to combat him? Make him just get rid of it? I mean, is incomplete your friend in this one?
Yeah, incomplete is a win. Yeah. You know, if there's incomplete pass, it's a win. Just you know, collapsing the pocket, keeping him in the pocket, and just making him force errant throws, whether that's incompletion or, you know, something where you can make a play on it. But either way, just with a guy who can run, you know, you want to keep him in the pocket, just put pressure on him.
Oh man, it was a blessing for sure. You know, Coach Rock was my D-line coach in college, so life just comes full circle.
And you know, coming and joining Chavandre and Big Jeff, you're not being counted on to come in here and save the day. You can just be a piece to the puzzle.
Yeah, I mean those guys are phenomenal players. You know, Jeff been doing it for a while. Sweat, I think this is his second year, so yeah, I'm just learning from them.
You're a little guy compared to those two.
Little guy, great.
What's it been like kind of trying to get up to speed and get ready for week one?
You know, just you got to be a pro at the end of the day, but just learning the playbook and learning how the techniques and stuff.
Like this squad, what do you know about them?
I mean, I know, NFL fairly small. Like everybody, you either train with them or don't cross paths through recruiting. So a bunch of familiar faces.
Does it feel like you're back home?
And Knoxville 2 hours away, but I'm here to make Nashville home now. So yeah.
What does it mean to be just kind of back in the state while you started to make a name for yourself?
Oh man, it's cool. It's, like I say, come full circle. Come to college here, now I get to play for the Titans. It's a cool experience.
What do you hope to show kind of this team, the coaches, and the fans here that you can do?
I mean, just that they can rely on me, man. Coming in. I mean, I've been in the NFL for a while. Just reliability. They can depend on me.
Who had you do the up-downs the first day? What's kind of the initiation been like, guys welcoming you aboard?
Like I say, it was familiar faces. I played with Johnny and X last year. I met a couple guys through training, so yeah.
Does having a relationship with Tracy allow you to maybe start faster with this team because you can speak the same language?
Well, each team got their different lingo, how they like word stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, Coach Rocker was my D-line coach in college, so our relationship is pretty cool.
I don't know if I would say surprised or not. To be honest, only thing I knew is I could control what I could control and be ready to play no matter what the situation was. Even if that was in Baltimore, obviously I'm excited for it to be here. Once it happened, just consistent conversations with my agent. And once she told me Tennessee, was ready to take that flight that night, come in the next day and was ready to go.
You know many guys on this team, and what do you think about the team?
I love it here, man. Seeing old teammate Prochet here with CJ, Roger McCrary. We played against each other every year in high school ball. Of course, Coach Denard, Coach John Shaw in the weight room was my high school coach. So it's always good to have familiar faces when you're in a new place.
Yeah. What was that like? I know John was talking about you the other day. Had you stayed in touch with him, and what's he said upon your return?
I mean, he was excited. I was excited. He was probably like the first person that I was in contact with once I found out I would be here. So, I mean, we've always kept in contact over years just because, great people. We're like family. So, to be in the same building with someone that you treat as family is always a blessing.